Welcome and thanks for joining. My name is Bolaji Olatoye. If you're here and you're watching this, you are a business owner, you're sharp, you're experienced, you're somebody who knows their stuff, but you don't always have the time, the team, or the energy to show up online the way you want to. And that's exactly why we created this workshop. What you're going to get in today's session is going to be very much strategic, practical ways you can use AI to save hours on content, emails, and planning, but also showing up consistently without the burnout, and also how you can create leverage without hiring a full team. You're also going to get a breakdown of some of the key principles behind AI-powered growth. We're going to show you a live overview and a demo of how to use agents and workflows in your business. And something that we're really excited about is you're going to get your very own AI coach. So we've built an AI coach and it's built to work like a strategist in your back pocket. I'm really excited to demo that to you. So why does this matter? From our work with founders, we have seen results like this. 82% of people publishing more content in space of 4 weeks than they had in 3 months. We've seen 40% increase of bookings, new sales from AI supported content. We've seen offers, emails, and funnels mapped out in a single weekend, and that's just the beginning. We're going to introduce you today to a concept of AI agents. So we use agents to handle pretty much everything from content strategy to client delivery. So by the end of this session, you're going to walk away with clarity, tools, and your next steps mapped out. Let's position the problem. You're trying to scale a business without actually building one. So what you have is a personal brand, but it's only there when you show up. You have an offer that gets results, but only when it delivers it. And you're using a kind of hustle system. So it's duct taped together. It's not scalable, it's not sellable, it's not sustainable. You don't have is a back end that runs smoothly. You don't have a back end that operates at scale, and you don't have an infrastructure that turns your work into a machine, right? So you're not selling a scalable transformation, you're selling time and effort. This is something that we're gonna show you exactly how to avoid. Over the last 3 months, we've been working in the background with a cohort of people. We took them through a program called the AI Business Accelerator. It was kind of part of an experiment, but also a deep dive to test how founders could use AI to increase visibility. In that 3 months, we've seen a lot of results. Let's take a look. Yesterday, we had our onboarding session for the AI Business Accelerator, and I couldn't be more excited. Let me tell you why. First of all, we hit our quota, which, celebrate the milestones, celebrate the small wins. But even more importantly, we have an incredible group of individuals, each bringing unique business expertise and backgrounds. This cohort is shaping up to be something truly special, and I'm genuinely excited about the journey ahead. The AI Business Accelerator is all about one thing: achieving results fast. Our key focus is to use AI to help our delegates achieve one specific measurable objective: sales, but sales quickly and repeatably. We'll be doing this through our proprietary framework, the S diagram, which has helped business owners not only systemize their sales processes, but also make their sales predictable and scalable. So let's talk about some of the core principles we'll be covering. Speed. This program is designed to help you achieve milestone results in less time than you thought possible. We're talking about cutting through the fluff and getting straight to what works. Leverage, not reliance. You'll learn how to stop being a slave to social media platforms, how to use them as tools instead of letting the algorithm dictate your results. It's about taking control and making these platforms work for you. Authority. One of the key objectives of this program is to help you establish yourself as the go-to expert in your field. We'll show you how to step into your authority and own your value in the marketplace. Smart, purposeful tech. We believe in using just enough tech, no overcomplication, no overwhelm. The tools we'll introduce will be chosen specifically to help you get out there, build momentum, and start seeing results quickly. This is an incubator style program designed to equip and empower you to accelerate your results, claim your space in the market, and unlock your full potential of your business. I'm so excited for what's to come, and I'm thrilled to be on this journey with such an amazing group. Let's make 2025 the breakthrough year that we all deserve. Why most experts stay stuck and what the smart ones are doing instead. So on this left-hand side, I want to see if this sounds familiar to any of you. You are selling 1 hour call or a session. You're doing something different for every client. So you're having to change it up for each client. You're not given a very clear articulation of what people get. And because of that, you can't grow easily. You have to do everything yourself, and everybody wants you all the time. It's like a time heavy and low leverage. And leverage is something that's really important in business. You want to move from low leverage to high leverage. Low leverage basically means that the more customers you get, the harder you have to work, right? So your increase in revenue actually means higher costs, more hustle, and more increased burnout. Now, on the right-hand side is the new, style, right? So this is where you're selling a very clear result. You are always talking about the transformation. You're selling the transformation and not like a series of things. You're helping more than one person at once, and you're using tools, templates and AI to help. You're using smart systems to do the boring stuff, and then you're charging based on value, not on hours. So this is scalable, and this is smart growth. Now, the reason this is important is because if you don't have this as a foundation, then any system that we would talk about implementing is not going to be sufficient. This is the premise on how we work with people. So first of all, you kind of have to make sure that you have a offer. And when we work with our clients, we make sure that your offer is in the green and not in the red. The next thing is, how can you sell? Now, there's many things that contribute to, making sales, but we've distilled it, especially in this 3-month period that we've been working with our cohort people. We distilled it to leverage. Ultimately, to sell to people, you need to have their attention, but also you need to be seen as an authority. Many of us, I think, are on this left-hand side again. You're doing it all yourself again. You're posting content daily, maybe aimlessly. You're probably sending some cold DMs. You're recording videos, you're running ads, you're showing up in Facebook groups. You're trying to do all the things. And you might even be doing some physical networking as well. With this, you end up with a 90% energy used, but 5% lead conversion at best. But ultimately, your ROI is low. Now let's move it over to where it should be, which is the leveraged way. How do we achieve leverage? So one of the things that we've worked out and we've seen the data proves is that with strategic partners, this is somebody who they already have the attention of your audience. They are already trusted in your field. So you standing next to them gives you instant authority. So you don't have to show up all the time. All you have to do is align with your strategic partner. This way, you are trusted, the partner brand. You can feature in their newsletter. You can co-create lead magnets with them. You speak on their stage. You deliver value to their community. They trust you implicitly. You use way less energy, and your ROI is much higher. And the beautiful thing is, with our AI agents and our accelerator, we gave people training on how to secure strategic partners. The next thing I wanted to show is, once you've sorted your offer and you've also got your strategic partners, then let's go to market. Now, the things which you must have in place in order to actually sell is, we call them 5 pillars of infrastructure. The real reason that most of us are still stuck is because we are the bottleneck. You're your own bottleneck, and we have to be aware of that so we can move ourselves out of the way. Most of us started out doing everything ourselves. We were the content writer, the salesperson, the delivery team, the admin, all of it, right? But that's not a business, that is a trap. What if you could build something smarter, something that still delivers your genius, but without needing you to touch every single part? This is the same model that we've been using, and it's how we've helped consultants hit 6-figure months, agency owners to step back, and founders to finally lead and not chase. And that's what we call the 5-pillar infrastructure. It's content, it is attraction, it is back-end, it's sales and fulfillment. And ultimately, we want to take you from you doing everything, so I imagine that's current state for many people, and bridge the gap and take you to what we call the desired state. Content, this is basically making sure that your offer is clear and it's smart. You have a plug and play messaging system that when you put your content out, it hits the mark each time. Attention, this is how you generate leads. We use AI tools to get visibility consistently. And then a backend, this is essentially what we call a CRM. So it's a customer relationship management system, somewhere where you can store information about your prospects, manage conversations, and keep things running efficiently in the background so you never really lose a sale. And then sales is essentially appointment setting. One of the key things in a consulting business is, in order for me to make a sale, I need to have an appointment in the diary. And we have automations that will enable you to have that. And then The next thing is fulfillment. So once you've closed the sale, how do I ensure that business is running smoothly and I can deliver efficiently, right? So that's templates, automations, and systems that do the heavy lifting for you. What we've done is we have developed an AI system that handles all of these aspects for you. And it's called the AI Workforce Heroes. So the AI Workforce Heroes, we've created a selection of bots or agents that handle all the things that you need. We've got the Oracle, which it locates and reaches out to prospects. It's really important to build your pipeline. Then there's the Navigator. It's a chatbot that handles appointment setting and automatically books people into the calendar, but it also handles inquiries as well. So imagine, maybe you're a one-man band or a solopreneur, or you have only a few people on your team, and you might run a business where you're the one that's delivering the service. But what if a call comes in or an inquiry comes in? What do you do? How do you manage that? The Navigator handles that. And then we have the Vanguard, which is a very similar, but it's a voice bot. So rather than real-time communications on chat, it will speak and it will talk to you and it will handle phone calls as if it was a receptionist. And then we have the Commander, which strings it all together. It's like our operations manager. So all of these things, it's not just a one bot system, it's a whole process that allows your business to run smoothly. So it's almost as if you've hired a whole workforce, and that's why we call it AI Workforce Heroes. So the next thing to go over is the customer journey. So it's important to know and have clarity on exactly what is the repeatable process that if you put this in place, the sales come through like clockwork and on repeat. So the first thing is your traffic. You must have a traffic source. We run ads and we use the Oracle to generate traffic. Then there is lead capture. So you've got to find a way very early on in the journey to capture a lead. So what is capturing a lead? Capturing a lead is basically somebody's contact information, name, phone number, email, so that you can bring them into your world. And then we have what's called conversational flow. Once somebody has come into your world, what do you do to take them into a sale? You talk to them. Conversations is one of the most important parts of the sales journey. So you can't just go from a lead to a sale. There must be some sort of rapport. But within that rapport, you also want to be intelligently capturing information from the person. Are they qualified? In real time, you can get that information from them. We have a sales intelligence engine that automatically determines, should we book them? Then get them onto a sales call. And then this bottom row is all of the operational side of things, which I'll skip through for now. So now I'm going to give you a very detailed view of one of the key things that pertain to getting an appointment. So we have an appointment setting agent. And what happens is when a lead comes through, we have the agent that will qualify. It's going to converse with you. It's going to check what are your problems, what are your pain points, so that it can determine are you qualified or not. We've built a set of AI agents that handle a number of these back-end flows. These back-end flows are in place so that all eventualities are covered. The worst thing you want is for somebody to get on a call with you and they're either not ready to make a purchase or they're not qualified. So these systems ensure that that doesn't happen. When a lead is qualified, the appointment gets booked. When a lead is not qualified, so let's say we determine from the conversation that actually maybe they don't have the budget, maybe they're not the right kind of customer, or maybe they're just not in the market. You don't want to waste your time on a call. So our agent will activate what we call a downsell process and will move them into a low ticket product. And then if the appointment is booked, then we go through like the standard workflow, which is they show up, they have the conversation, you make the offer. But if they don't show for whatever reason, we trigger another automatic agent which will re-engage them and attempt to book them onto a call. I'm going to give you a live view of what that would look like. Okay. So here is an example of what our sales infrastructure looks like. So, and here it's a very, very basic form, and it's really important to stress that point. A lot of people, when they're building landing pages for lead capture, you put too much information. When you give people too much information, it's information overload. And when somebody is confused, a confused mind never buys. Your goal here is just to get their information. So imagine what this might be for your business, right? So obviously our business is, we have a creative agency, but for yours, some of you in financial services, some of you are in insurance, some of you are, career coaching, some of you are in mindset and personal development coaching. There will be something similar here. But then what happens next is they are taken to a page, which there is the more information there. and we have what's known as a VSL. And that VSL basically stands for a video sales letter. Now, that is one part of the qualification. But what's also happening in the background is if somebody, gets into this part here, they are now sent a WhatsApp message. They're sent a WhatsApp message, and our Navigator bot engages with them to converse with them and see, are they ready? Do they have any questions? So here's an example of one of our Navigator conversations. So this is someone who has opted in. You can see that they've sent a message. The person is a property sourcing business. Our bot has replied. It says, that's great. AI workforce heroes can help streamline your property, and is asking questions now. So how do you currently find and engage potential leads? The question is answered. Okay. Then our bot has replied, and this is all AI that's replying. It's explaining exactly, how we solve their problem, and it's looking to qualify them more. It asks a question, would you like to see how this could work for your business? The prospect says yes. And it's like, okay, it's asking some more questions. So before you get onto the demo, what's the average value? So all of this is extracting information so that we can know whether this person is qualified or not. Okay. And then as the person is qualified, they are automatically booked, right? So you can see it's automatically booked, and it's in the diary. You can see an email has been triggered. So the effectiveness of what I'm saying here is, off the back of just one form that is filled out, you have an automatic appointment setter. So yeah, imagine now you're doing a campaign or you're networking with people and you met like hundreds of people. They took your business card, they opted into your lead magnet, or you're doing a really great campaign on social media and you've got loads of inquiries. How do you field those inquiries? How do you make sure that you get through to the right people? Installing this agent and this infrastructure would do just that. And then in parallel, we have another way of qualifying people, because as I said, we don't want people to join your calendar if they're not qualified. We have another mechanism to control that. So we have a form that if somebody makes it past this stage, they are now given a survey, and in that survey they're filling out some information. Now in that survey, we're going to check, first of all, do they have the budget, and do they qualify? They've got some of the qualifying questions. If they do qualify, only then do we send them the calendar to book. If they don't, then we politely disqualify them, but we won't do it in a rude way. We'll basically just send them down another path, which books them into something which gives them more information, some kind of low ticket offer, which is, in this case, it would be like a workshop or something like that. So let me actually show you what that looks like in real time. This is the example of that quiz. So this is let's say a consultant. I'm gonna do the downsell disqualification workflow so you can see it first. If I hit their revenue is below 10K, because that's our premium service, is basically, it's for people who are making more than that. That's our premium service. So if somebody ticked below that, then there's no point in us having that conversation yet, because they won't qualify. So at that point, right, they don't even know that they've been moved onto another workflow, right? Because I clicked that. So imagine if that was for your business. But if I go back and I fill out that form again, and I'm now going to say I am over that limit, I qualify because my revenue is, more. What happens is it sends me somewhere else. It actually sends me now to book. So seamlessly, only if I qualify, I am able to enter into the calendar. And me as the prospect, I would never know what's happening behind the scenes. As far as I am aware, I'm just going through the normal process. So this is a smart way to filter, and as a solopreneur or a business owner, or just a small agency owner, however the size of your business, your time is precious. So this is something that we put in place to make sure that everything is efficient. I wanted to talk about, why do we use WhatsApp over other platforms? So we use WhatsApp, Instagram, we use emails, we use SMS, but the reason for WhatsApp, right, is, I'm not sure if you've seen, but lots of large corporations are actually incorporating WhatsApp into their messaging, into their newsletters, into their communication. So WhatsApp has now moved from something which might have been considered unprofessional back in the day. Now it's like an official, approved method of communication, number one. But number two, WhatsApp solves a lot of deliverability issues. So with email, there are loads of issues with email with regards to, like, sometimes your emails will go into spam. Sometimes the rules on, the receiving emails side They will, block your account if something doesn't match. It can be a little bit of a gauntlet. But in the same way, SMS. So there are rules around SMS that sometimes prevent you, or it makes it harder to send communications to international numbers. It's called ATP, I think, registration. And then when you're dealing with things like Instagram or LinkedIn, there's other barriers as well. So with LinkedIn and Instagram, if you're not following the person or you're not connected, then it will go into a bucket. It will go into like requests, and the person that you're trying to communicate with, they probably, unless they're checking that request bucket actively, you will not see that. These are all things that if they're not kind of catered for and handled, you will lose the sale. Statistically speaking, if someone is not responded to almost instantly, then there's a high chance that the sale, which could have been yours, would be lost. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you our AI agent, because the thing about this is all of these infrastructures that we put in place, if you don't have someone or a coach or like a consultant that can tell you how to do it and tell you what you need to put in place, it's going to be very hard for you. So I'll give you another example of our accelerator that we did recently. We had weekly calls, sometimes 3 times a week, and in that, the main purpose of that call was for questions to be answered. Oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Is my offer good? Is my offer bad? How do I tweak my offer? Give me feedback on this. Look at my sales page. Or tell me what do I say in a sales meeting? All of these things, which if you didn't have that, you might struggle. So we've built and we've coded a live agent so you can actually use that for yourself. So let me introduce you to Alex. He's your coach. Imagine having a strategic business coach. He's available 24/7. He never gets tired, and he's trained on the exact frameworks, templates, and strategies we've used to build 6 and 7 figure systems for consultants, creators, and founders. That is Alex, your AI business coach. Think of him as a coach in your pocket, one who's always ready to help you create, sell, optimize, and scale without the overwhelm or second guessing. If you're stuck, Alex has the answers. So here's an example of some of the things that you can ask. Alex, what's the best lead magnet for my offer? Okay, or you can ask him, create me a sales page. Or you can say, analyze, what should I do next? You can say, what is the first step to automate my follow-ups? Any of these questions you can do. All right, yep, Fabian, you go ahead. Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes. So can you please ask Alex? I already have a sales page, but I'm struggling to get enough reach out to get more awareness about the service I'm giving. So how would I solve that issue without having to spend hours every day posting or scheduling posts?
Okay. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Let's see what Alex has to say. All right. So let's have a look. So Alex thinks he's summarized your goal. So drive consistent qualified traffic to your sales page without you needing to be on the content hamster wheel every day. So step 1, choose your visibility plays. Signature content series, sounds familiar. Lead magnet loop, mini visibility blitz, and some other things as well. SEO optimized answer posts. Now, step 2, repurpose around your offer. So pull 3 to 5 key angles. Step 3, use a light content system. So it's actually giving you a content strategy. And then it will go further and say, would you like to build a sample post calendar? Would you like to draft a few posts? Would you like help creating a lead magnet? Right. So all of these things, basically Alex is at your service. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hand over to me to explain a little bit more about our infrastructure and also what would the next steps be.
So yeah, just to be clear, Alex will be used within your ChatGPT account. So it's like you have it there. If I just quickly share my screen so I can show you. So when you go into ChatGPT, you'll see that you have different GPTs at the top here, and you'll see that you have Alex. And what you'll just need to do is click on it. And we have some conversation starters that you can use. And all it will do is you will click on it, and then it will ask you some questions. And that's what's the beauty of Alex, is that, you know, when you sometimes think, oh, I wish I could just ask that person a question. I wish I could just have the answer to this. That's what Alex is designed for you to have that back and forth with somebody. If you're, you know, I know a lot of entrepreneurs who either work really early or late at night, and you might not want to reach out to somebody, or you might not have somebody that you can ask questions to. That's where Alex comes in, because it then has that back and forth with you. So the other thing is, it wants to make sure that it gives you the answers that are suitable to you. So rather than just giving you generic information that it's just gotten from like the internet, it wants the information to be tailored to you. So the idea is that you train it to be personalized and customized to your business, and then it will give you the answers based on that. And then every time you have a new conversation with it, it already has the history of what you have spoken about previously, so it can give you more tailored advice. So the more you train it on your business, the more the advice is going to be really specific to you, and it's going to learn your voice, it's going to learn everything about you, and so give you that content that's really different from other people, which is what you want, but specific and unique to who you are as a business owner. And thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day.